Always visualizing what I want to become, what I want for my future, because I do believe that you first have to accomplish it in your mind. You first have to accomplish it in your mind and know that it's normal, that it's possible, that you are worthy before you actually accomplish it in the physical world. Welcome to the Nopalera podcast, a place where I share the journey of building my company from the ground up, as well as the stories of others in our community. I am your host, Sandra Velasquez, founder of Nopalera, a culture-forward brand that celebrates and elevates culture. Aside from making great products, we are cultural storytellers with a mission to inspire our community to stand in their worth. In this podcast, you will hear a mix of solo and guest episodes around the entrepreneurial realities of building a company. I launched Nopalera from my Brooklyn apartment with no outside funding while working 3 jobs, raising my child in the middle of the pandemic at the age of 44. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope it inspires you to live boldly. Hey there, this is going to be a short solo episode recapping some of the things that I said, learned, felt a couple of weeks ago at the We All Grow Latina-Las founders event in Los Angeles. If you were there, I'm sure you felt the magic, and I hope that you came away with some really powerful connections, inspiration, motivation, information. So I was invited to be a part of the panel called How to Get into Retail. And I was on stage with a bunch of other amazing founders who are much further along their journey than myself, who have raised millions of dollars collectively, who have been in business for many years, who have multiple businesses, just so inspiring. And I have never been in a room with 300 Latina entrepreneurs, and I'm 46 years old, y'all. So this was just such a powerful reminder of the future majority and the importance of putting yourself in new rooms, even if it costs you money. All right. So just to kind of dial back here, earlier this year, I actually won a scholarship to a VIP mastermind event. And even with the scholarship, the event was still $5,000. And you know what? Was it worth it? Yes, it was. Did I have an extra $5,000 lying around? Absolutely not. I put it on my American Express card and I paid it off over time. And I knew that I would be in a room with 100 entrepreneurs who were levels ahead of me. And I knew that I would make new friends, share my story, expand my network. And the key word here is network. So for those of us that did not go to Harvard or Yale or business schools or do not come from money, what we are lacking most often is a lack of network of people that have access to resources and capital that can help us and our businesses. That's really one of the benefits of going to these Ivy League colleges is the people that you meet when you're there. So I cannot stress enough, this whole solo episode is going to be about the power of putting yourself in new rooms. All right. So I'm in the middle of my first fundraise right now. And here's what I know. People with money know other people with money. So for all of my life, up until this point, I really never knew anyone with money. Not my family. I didn't have any friends. Certainly not me. And only recently, when I started getting accepted into cohorts and accelerators, did I have the opportunity to meet investors, whether it's VCs or angel investors. And it has since snowballed from there, because once you meet one, they will introduce you to 3 more, etc. So I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it's about putting yourself in new rooms. It's about taking chances. And it's about meeting new people, okay? And also just learning how to build relationships. This is a key life skill, regardless of whatever industry you are in. So the takeaway, though, is that I had to take action to put myself in those rooms. So in some cases, I had to pay money. In some cases, I had to apply or register or whatever it was. But the takeaway is that nothing is going to just come to you if you don't do anything different. So nothing changes if you don't. So this is my reminder to you, fellow founders. If you want new things to happen, you cannot stay in the same place and do the same things with the same people. You have to put yourself out there. If you're comfortable where you are, then cool. You don't need to change anything. This is really for those of you that know that there's more out there and you don't know how to get it. You don't know how to meet these people. Just start taking steps. Start going to events. Start asking people if they know anybody that knows anybody that knows anybody. And yes, it feels awkward at first, but eventually, that's how you have to get the ball rolling. So one of the things I shared on stage at the Las Founders event was that I have never been able to afford anything I've done. Even when I was a musician, making albums for 15 years, even though I had a day job, I was being underpaid at that time. I allowed myself to be underpaid because I wanted an easiest day job that would allow me to conserve my energy for my music career. which it did. So there's always a give and take, right? But the important thing to recognize is that you have a choice to stay where you are comfortable or push yourself to learn new things. And I stayed in that low-paying job for over 15 years. That's a really long time, you guys. And it was only when things got so bad at that job that it pushed me to quit. And all of us are products of our environment. So if you only know people who are making $40,000 a year and that's normal to you, and it was to me at that time for many, many years, then that's what's normal to you. But when I started to push myself and open myself up to learning new hard things, I saw the potential to actually change my life. So again, nothing changes if you don't. And if you are in a place in your life right now where you don't have money, you don't know anyone with money, and money feels far away and hard to get, I want you to know that I see you. I know what that feels like. I was you. And honestly, I'm still there. I still don't have money. Okay. I really hope to be recording an episode in the near future where I can tell you that I finally have completed this race. But as of yet, not yet. So I would like to offer this reality to you now. There is plenty of money in the world. There are people that have so much money that they talk to their friends about what to do with it. Where should they invest it? Where should they put it? So don't be mad that other people have money. That is a complete waste of your life energy. Instead, ask yourself, what do you need to change? Who do you need to meet to shape your new reality? You may feel like you don't belong. You may feel like a fraud, but I'm telling you now, and this is what I said on stage at the Las Founders event, is that you are worthy. You are worthy the day you were born. Your past does not need to decide your future, but you do need to decide what future you want. And this change will not happen overnight. It will not just come to you. It will be a practice. And by the way, your ancient brain, all of us have this, your ancient brain will try to protect you and be scared of new things. And you will have to tell it new stories. You will have to tell it to think new thoughts. And I literally spend time doing this every day. I have Post-it notes all over my house. And, I meditate every morning on how I want to create my life. I journal incessantly, always visualizing what I want to become, what I want for my future, because I do believe that you first have to accomplish it in your mind. You first have to accomplish it in your mind and know that it's normal, that it's possible, that you are worthy before you actually accomplish it in the physical world. I've also become really selective about who I spend my time with and what I consume. I would like to offer that to you. So take a poll. Who are you spending your time with? What do you guys talk about when you hang out? What are you consuming? Do an intake. All these things that you're allowing into your life, into your brain, into your space, these are things that are going to help you become like that next version of yourself and help you push your business? Because if not, then you want to make a note of that and make some changes. And you get to write your own story. And I said this on stage too, like the pen is literally in your hand. It's really easy to become like a product of our emotions or of our environment. We think that this is how things are, that they're facts. But literally, there's just too many examples that this is not true. You get to write your own story. You just have to decide what you want it to be. So that's it for today, you guys. The We All Grow Latina Network is an amazing network for Latinas to convene, to connect, to learn, to grow. Their link is in the show notes below. And I just wish you all the power of dreaming and to give yourself time to do so and to really step into your power by understanding that you get to decide what you want your story to look like. Visit nopalera.co to pick up your favorite self-care items for yourself and your friends and family. Join our mailing list to be the first to hear about new products and exclusive promotions, and follow us on IG at nopalera.co. And if you are an entrepreneur looking for more real talk and resources, you can join my entrepreneurial newsletter from my personal website, sandraliliavelasquez.com, and be the first to know when I host workshops and masterclasses. Everything is linked below in the show notes. Stay resilient.